Yo, this is Carly and that is Jose. We're chilling here and I got something to say. We're nervous and goofy in this podcast a lot, but we'll soon be known more than Jenny from the block. I know I can't rap, so please don't hate. Can you please tune in on Mondays, because that's when every episode kinda is. So, and it's at 10. So, hey B, have you ever heard of the Dreamcatcher Cause for Cancer?
I haven't.
It's a non-profit organization that started on July 7th, 2015. And my coworker actually told me about this. So, Misty, if you're listening to this, kudos to you, bro. Let's get right into what this cause does. It was started by this woman because it's a passion that really comes from her heart and soul. Her father-in-law and some of her coworkers were actually touched by the disease, and she felt she wanted to help in some way, At that time, she was really good at making dream catchers, and if you don't know what dream catchers are, they're a symbol in Native American culture that usually is for hope, for having good dreams. They catch bad dreams, and they're pretty important, especially spirituality, because spirituality really, helps make you better, because it's like your mental health and stuff. And she decided to put her talents and her brains at work and made the Dreamcatcher Cause. So she sells these dream catchers, and 50% of the proceeds go towards a $25 gas card, while the other half goes to more items to make these dream catchers. So 100% of it is completely non-profit. All of it is recycled, and pretty much what these dream catchers do is, because they're good for they're just an uppers, every time. It's like having good dreams. And for these, it's pretty much to be she knows what she wants to help you, and so she gives you these. She does these dream catchers, and you buy it because, say, someone that has cancer. You're like, hey, I want to help. I want to help towards the cause too. Because one of my loved ones or one of my friends are going through this, and it's a little, like I said, it's a little picker upper. And she's actually helped 48 cancer patients, totaling $1,200. And she says that she feels in her heart that God leads the way, so she could lift cancer patients' spirits, and lets them know that they're not alone in this fight. And so many people are rooting for them along the way. So I thought that was pretty cool. And if you like to borrow, or if you'd like to buy, especially if you're in the Upper Michigan Tri-County area, between Iron Mountain and Gladstone, that area, you can hit us up on Facebook. I don't know why I said hit us up. That was just a hipster thing to say. You can you can connect you can connect to us through Facebook at Lycaos Radio. Message us there, and if you're super serious, 100% serious about this, we can get you guys set up and buying a dream catcher to help donate towards this cause. Yeah, she definitely, if she does meet you, or when she does meet you, because that's always the best part, is she always tells you that, you're not going to be alone, and she always leaves with a big old hug. And who doesn't like a big old hug besides germ freaks? And I remember I didn't like hugs when I was younger, but that was weird. I'm a weirdo, that's okay. Happens.
She is.
Well, thanks. Well, fine. I'm just kidding. Alright. So, enough said. We have a very special episode for you guys, and I have no idea why I'm talking like this. I don't. Alright, so this. You know why this episode is special, Jose? Wanna know why? Ask me why, dude. Ask me, I dare you. Ask me, I swear to God, I dare you, man.
Why?
I'm done. Get your ass outside. I'm gonna take off my belt. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, remember the belt? Oh.
I'm scared.
You're like, no, don't do it. No, it hurts. Didn't even touch you. Alright. We're actually going to be learning about a pretty spooky thing, and hopefully you like this topic, because this topic is... Drum roll, please! Thanks. That was a weak drum roll. Come on, dude. From a drummer. Beyonce could do harder than that. No, just kidding. We're going to be talking about the paranormal. So, we got UFOs, ghosts, and radio hosts on today. That's going to be the episode title. That's a pretty cool title. Hey man, I just came up with it. Well, actually no, I didn't. I had it written down, but switched up the words and made it rhyme. But today we're going to be talking about ghosts. And what do you know about ghosts, Jose?
They're scary.
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends too, because what you actually...
They're...
Like hearing a ghost, have you ever heard a ghost before? It's weird. It's crazy, like, it's scary. But it gives you like an adrenaline rush. Sexy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
To me, a ghost is like an apparition of, you know, one that went
Died?
Yeah, passed on.
What? I'm just so upfront with it, like
died.
yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah, they just.
Of who died?
Croaked over.
Yeah. Basically,
I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but it's the truth. I mean.
Yeah. Okay, they died.
Yeah. Or passed on. Why you gotta be so insensitive, Jose? God. Just respect the viewers, listeners. God. Just kidding. Alright, so that's pretty much what the definition of a ghost is, and if you didn't know, there was actually a ghost definition, which I didn't know, and I don't know a lot of things, so that's what this podcast is for. This is like a history lesson into...
Well, if anybody don't know anything, it's this guy.
Hey. No, I'm kidding. You're talking to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna be like, agree. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so the real definition of a ghost is an apparition of a person, you know, who's passed on, that is really believed to appear or become visible to the living, you know, like you just said, and they're always a nebulous image. And nebulous meaning hazy or form of a cloud. So pretty much your standard definition of ghost, and they're not a sheet with two eyes like punched out.
Yeah, this ain't Scooby-Doo, guys. Okay, this is real life.
I was just about to say that. Great minds think alike. Alright, so we're gonna be talking about... I really wanted to know what the first sighting is, because it's like rumors. Where's the source? You know? That's one thing that I've always wanted to wonder, so I definitely learned that. There's actually two versions.
Really?
One's in the Bible, and one is like written down. Like, I know the Bible's written down, but the other is like if you don't read the Bible or something like that, you know, or you don't really believe in the religion. So I got two different ones because, you know, we're optimistic. You believe in religion, you don't. I mean, we're not gonna get into that because that's a really big dispute, but that's okay. Two things we're not gonna get into on this show: politics and religion, because I don't really find them interesting, to be honest. Like, I mean, all religion is cool and interesting, but just...
Everybody talks about that stuff.
Yeah, we want to talk about something different. We want to get your mind off that stuff, because...
I mean, that's all that's going on right now today.
Yeah.
Is politics and religion.
You guys need a little picker-upper.
You need to know a little bit about the ghosts.
Heck yeah. You need to know what you're seeing, too, in the corner.
Because you never know, tonight you might just be sleeping.
You want to know something cool? Or you want to know something that I read in Chinese culture?
Who are you talking to?
That ghost behind you. What's up, Paul?
I knew it. What's up, man?
No, I don't know why I said Paul. I don't even know Paul. Wait, no, I do.
Georgie from It.
Oh!
Good movie, guys.
Alright, so, you know, have you ever had this, like, when you look into a mirror, you think you see something out of the corner of your eye?
Yeah, like a black figure or something.
No. What the fuck are you seeing?
I do.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but Jose, what are you seeing? Like, what's wrong?
I don't know.
Do you really see that?
Yeah.
So, what? Really? Like, for sure?
I have my own eyes. I don't know.
Are you sure they're yours? No, I'm kidding. No, but they say if you do see some, like, especially like white shadows or white figures or just things darting in the corner of your eyes, there's an ancient Chinese myth there's spirits that live in mirrors and they play tricks on you and stuff.
That makes a lot of sense,
that
actually.
Makes me not want to look in mirrors. That makes me want to go break all my mirrors in my house.
Dude, every time I think about looking in a mirror, I just think about that video I seen on YouTube of that little girl.
Oh my god, I saw that.
Remember that one?
Like, yeah, where she's looking in the mirror, brushing her hair, and she looks back, and that thing is still looking, and I was like, oh my god. And that never freaked me out when I was younger, but as soon as I got older and I realized what it was, I was like, what the you know.
Yeah, what is it?
And I'm sorry for the swearing because this is gonna be a really graphic graphic episode. Alright, let's get back to the very first ghost stories. So let's jump all the way back to the Bible because of the tumbleweeds that happened during this episode. During every episode, to be honest. We're like squirrels, man. We'll run like 90% of the whole street, then decide to, oh shit, and turn back. Like,
yeah.
we're just... we just go all out on the topic, and all of a sudden something just something just retracts our memory. Then we just turn back and talk about something else. Alright. So the first recorded sighting in the Bible, according to an author named Brian Innes, who wrote a book called Ghost Sightings, he stated that in the first book of Samuel, dude named Saul... sorry. He's all like, I thought hurricane season was over. Okay, anyways. So Saul visited a medium and tried to bring back a deceased Samuel. Were they brothers? I think they were brothers, maybe. I would think so. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I really honestly don't know. So the medium does it, and we got your boy Sammy back, but he's in the form of an old man covered with a mantle. But we got your boy Sammy back. This first ghost. Alright? So for those of you that don't read the Bible, we're gonna go all the way back to 150 AD or BCE, before current era. And there's a writer named Pausanias who's recorded the very first written down ghost sighting. We're just really slow at this. Alright, so
that's me, man.
So this guy wrote down actually about the Battle of Marathon, which took in 490 BCE, so a couple hundred years after him. But he kind of noticed something that happens, especially at night, and he writes this excerpt. I think that's the word. We're gonna use it because we sound pretty smart.
No, that sounds right.
Alright, if it's not right, then...
I mean, then if it's not right, then blame me, because I'm always wrong, so...
Yeah, it's true. No, I'm kidding.
Well, thanks, man. You know, one person I thought I'd have my back.
Sometimes, you just... Truth hurts, criticism.
Okay.
Just kidding. Alright, no, but what Pausanias wrote was, quote, "At this place, you can hear all night the horses whining and men fighting. No one who stays there just to have this experience gets any good out of it. But the ghosts don't get angry with the men." Unquote. I don't know why I just paused there for a lot. But yeah, so I guess it's just like a reenactment of the battle that happened there, and I get that's a pretty popular thing if you notice in history about ghosts. They really reenact their kind of how they died. That's just like a movie scene playing over and over and over, repeating. So do you want to know the very first ghost story that actually happened here in continental US? Sorry, Hawaii and Alaska, you guys are out. My bad.
Sorry.
We still love you. Hawaii, I'll be seeing you in the summer.
Really do want to go there.
Hawaii? Heck yeah.
And Alaska.
I've always wanted to go to Alaska too, but I've seen 30 Days of Night, so...
Well, I seen a grizzly and I was just like, yeah, fuck that, I'm turning around.
Yeah, we were walking out our doors already and everything, and we just saw a bear just chilling outside, and it was like, nope, not today. My dog likes to knock her whole body into my door.
Just throw her whole body in.
Yeah, she's like, "Ma, you piece of..." No, I'm kidding. She loves me. Before we get into talking about the very first ghost story in the continental US, why don't we take a little break and we'll be back to talk about the continental US's very first ghost story.
Fucking...
Hey, and welcome back.
Hello, guys.
16.
Welcome back.
Gotta write that down. 1635.
This is Lycaos Radio.
First break.
Coming back at you with our episode of ghosts and spirits and snakes Just kidding. Not snakes. Just ghosts.
Yeah. I mean, snakes too. Snakes are kind of with ghosts. Not really.
I always think of like...
I always think of like dogs, maybe. Like hellhounds.
There you go.
Yeah. Alright, so like before the break, we were talking about the very first ghost story in the continental US, and we got a first contestant. Please come on down. May! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Yeah! I feel like SpongeBob and Patrick. They're like, or no, Patrick. Or no. SpongeBob. Yeah, he was like, woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
He's like,
making a complete utter fool of myself. And like, dude, I wish I knew the rest. That'd be funny. Alright, so we're gonna go to August of 1799, alright, turn of the century. Around August, near the coast of, hopefully I'm saying this right, if there's someone from Maine out there, like, boo! I'm sorry, alright? We're friends. We're all friends here in the Lycaos studio room. So we're gonna go to Machiasport. That's right, Machiasport. We're just gonna chill with Machiasport. So, disembodied voice of a woman whose name was Nellie Butler, and this is a pretty famous legend, I guess, around Maine. So her voice was heard by a man named Abner Blaisdell, and it also happened again the next year in 1800. But apparently nothing happened after she spoke, and he just kind of wrote it off as the wind. So the second time she spoke, she had said that she was the wife of Captain George Butler. She wanted people who heard her to go and see her father, who was David Hooper. And David went to go check this voice out. He heard the voice and he was like, well, yep, that's my Nellie.
Like my mom's name?
Yeah. Alright, so after he confirmed that it was his daughter's voice, she started to show herself more, and thus the apparition started. I know what you're thinking, that this isn't really the first ghost story. Okay, we're just gonna back up. Alright, record scratch. We're gonna back up and we're gonna just say, disclaimer, this isn't the very first ghost story, we know that. But because Native American culture was oral, they didn't have any written down. We're just looking for the written down history. Because I've heard some stories, man. You know? Like being Native American, both Jose and I. We've heard some stories. Heck yeah, we have. But we're just talking about the... Is that your foot?
Yeah, it's my rabbit foot. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, but we're just talking about the written history, okay? So get your panties out of that bunch. And, right.
It's okay, guys.
It's alright, man.
Poindexter's out there.
Yeah. When she appeared to the locals as an apparition, a lot of people described her as floating above the ground and appearing very white as if a glowing light. So pretty much just a harmless spirit. Just chilling, wants to be known. So... we're gonna get into some theories. And this is gonna be a live conversation between me and Jose. No editing whatsoever. This is all live too, but a little bit of editing, I won't lie. You'll hear it. I know I'm I'm not that great at editing, but I'm alright. I'm average. But this right here is gonna be a live debated theory between me and Jose. And if you believe in our theories, give this a thumbs up and share with your friends so they can hear our theories too, and we can all be friends. We can all have a big conversation. Not an argument. Conversation.
No,
we're civilized.
We're gonna conversate, guys.
We are gonna conversate your ears off.
Literally, until they
bleed.
Either run away by themselves or...
bleed.
Can you hear me? No.
Alright, so there's a theory out there that... There's a question I've always asked myself, alright? Have you ever wondered what happened after death? Like, if you think about it, like, what's the thing that you actually think? What's one of your theories? What do you think happens after death?
Immediately, right after?
Yeah, just what you always thought. I won't lie, when I was younger, I honestly thought reincarnation. Because, I guess, the TV shows I used to watch, they'd always have reincarnation or something like that.
I always thought that too, or you come back as like an eagle or...
Sometimes that even happens because there will be someone just chilling all of a sudden. Say their loved one that passed away, like robins, and they would have a robin, chilling on a tree, and it would come down to them and it'd perch on their hand, and that kind of makes you want to believe too, because what if that is the reincarnated version? Or what if spirits just possess that form and that's just what they're eternally known for. Then they just possess it for that short time, and after that, that bird's just like, what happened?
Or what about if like, you know, after they passed on, I don't really want to say like joined your body, or you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean?
So like reincarnation.
Yeah, well, and like say was you were able to talk to one through like say
medium?
me? Yeah, like me.
Okay.
Like say I was sitting
Possession.
here. In a way, yeah, not like demonic or anything.
Exorcist.
Yeah, not like that.
But like they have to get the message to
it's trying to speak out through an actual.
So like Whoopi Goldberg.
Like Ghost.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I always think of that too, but then that makes you think like then ghosts have to be a spirit energy left behind.
Yeah, some sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought. Actually, really did think about that.
Or another one of my theories, honestly, is. Well, your mom's theory is they stay back for 7 days and 7 nights, hey?
Yeah.
And that's just...
Well, where do they go after that, though? After their days, you don't know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they go to, like, some sort of paradise or something, and they come back when they want to visit. That's what they do. There's just, like, a door open. If they want to visit, they can. Because that's what I think. And they visit in your dreams. I don't
Dude,
believe that.
I believe that because buddy of mine that passed away, he came and seen me twice in my dream.
Really? That's crazy, dude.
It was sweet, dude. It was sweet.
I wish you could say things in your dream like what's up, dude?
Yeah, dude, man.
Yeah.
You know, but all it is just like...
Right? It's all like Mr. Mime over here.
Yeah. That's what it feels like, though. Sometimes you can't, you know, you're not able to say anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I've been having some weird dreams with, like, people that have passed on, and I don't know if they're trying to tell me something, or see, that's why I don't believe in it fully, too, because they were just random dreams, you know?
Right.
But another thing is wavelength, because I've heard a theory about wavelengths, and you know how you change the radio station on a... But wavelengths, you know, how you... I just like messed up. I did press the key. But you know how you change a radio station on your car?
And it's kind of like fuzzy.
No, like, and you're just like, oh, I touched your foot again. Cold. Your foot's all cold.
It's rabbit feet, dude.
Little deer feet.
It's like this.
Dude, you gotta tell the story about the deer real quick.
Okay, so yesterday, I was on my front porch, and I was looking for my little puppy Kane, and I was looking around, and all of a sudden I see him, little brown dot, about 50 yards, chasing 2 kids on a bike going up, you know, around this corner, and I looked like a deer when they heard something or seen, you know, they're about to get hit by a car. I was just like, my body just went straight up, and I looked to the direction of Kane, so I was just like, and I fucking went fly. Excuse my language. I went running as fast as I could. I was jumping through. I just felt majestic as hell. I felt like a deer, dude.
Just leaping.
Yeah, I was just like,
like a deer with a grass in its mouth, and it's just like.
Yeah, it's like.
When it just looks at you, just like. Dude, I hate when deers are like that, or when they play chicken with your car, like they're just chilling on the side of the road, and they're like, hit me, bitch. And they're just testing you, man. They test our anxiety, I swear.
Oh, those damn deer.
Right.
Yeah, that was my story, though. Little story there.
Sorry, man, that was really off topic.
So it's like...
It just reminded me of a deer when I said deer feet. That's such your dog's feet remind me of little deer hoops.
Little cane.
Alright, so let's get back to wavelengths. But anyways, like I was saying, you know, the channels don't stop when you change them, you know. They just keep playing. And I think that's what we are. We're a radio. We're like 94.7, and ghosts are like 105.3. Don't know if those are... I know 94.7 is
93.1.
Yeah. But there's that one, like you say, when you do change the channels, when they like converge together.
Conversion. Software. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, it's like the little white noise, and that's what really happens. Like our wavelengths kind of like converge.
Didn't you have a white noise story?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, dude. Okay, no. So I was just sitting there, right, and chilling and playing GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, and I had my headphones on, chilling. You know, I don't know, I said chilling twice, but I had my headphones on and I was cruising through the mountains and everything, and radio was off. No, like the radio was like playing, but there wasn't no singing or anything. But I heard like my name, like it was like car. And I don't know why, I went to go turn my headphones off, and I turned around because I thought my mom was like creeping up behind me, you know? And it really felt like someone was walking up on you. And then I just turned my headphones off, turned around, and was about to be like, what? And then I just realized that there was nothing there. And I tried to debunk it because I even listened to the same song. It was the same musical part, and I didn't hear anything, you know? Dude, if I felt so real though, like I could feel something like over my right shoulder, and I felt like that too.
It felt soothing, eh?
Like yeah, but it my heart dropped. As soon as like
knowing that you just heard something, like oh man.
Yeah, that's not the first time, but so that's the only time I've heard something in my ear. But we'll get to that.
That's crazy.
Anyways, those are a couple of theories right there, and there's a lot of theories.
There's a lot of theories.
There's a lot of beliefs. There's a lot of
like, what about like, you know how they say what ghosts look like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what if they don't look like that?
I know because some, like you'll see some that are just clean cut and everything, but then you'll see some that looks like they're mangled in a car accident that just happened.
Yeah.
And when I saw my mom, it was on your back porch, and I was hanging out there, you know, and there was no one else out there. It was just me. Looked over in that corner, you know, where it's not the porch, but it's the corner that's your house, you know. Yeah. And I looked there, and my mom was wearing all white, and I glanced, and I saw her for literally a split second. She was the corner of my eyes. I went to go look up, and dude, I could see her messy bun and stoic look and everything, dude. And when I told my cousin my mom was wearing all white, she looked at me and she was like, that's what she was wearing when I saw her. And I was like, Dude, this was literally probably the same day or the day after that I found out. It was crazy, man. Like,
oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I can't remember if I said anything.
It was when you came over the day.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you did. You were just like,
dude,
you know.
It was like a, did I just see that?
Yeah, shocked, you know.
Yeah.
I feel shocked.
And they say if it's especially someone so close to you, you know, your guard is going to be low, you know, because you're in that depressive state, and that's when spirits are more known to show themselves to you.
Your spirit's a little bit of vulnerable.
Yep. So yeah, with that said, we actually want to do something to, if you have any ghost stories or anything paranormal stories or even any unidentified stories or scary stories, anything that you just even want to get off your chest, you know, you can email us.
We'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
For real, we'd love to get some letters for you guys or stories or anything.
Yeah, and it'd be really cool to do an episode like that. So share with your friends, share with your cousins, share with your brothers and sisters and your lovers and your dogs and your cats and your
geckos and iguanas, barracudas.
That chipmunk who's stuffing his face full of black dickies.
You know, I'm kind of flabbergasted when you say things like that. It's weird.
He's all like, foxes. Dude, I lost
barracudas.
Yeah, barracudas, heat-seeking missiles, foxes. You can go over and hit us up like, why'd you do that? Okay. You go hit us up on Facebook at Lycaos Radio. Message us on there, and, you know, We'll chill. We'll give you our feedback, what we think. You know, say if you want some help or want some advice. You know, me and Jose are some pretty motivational, strong, kind-hearted, down-to-earth.
We'd love to talk to you guys too. You know, if there's anything you guys want to know about any sort of topics.
Yeah, if you guys want to know a little, we're your walking dictionary. We're your walking dictionary of random facts.
And we will do our best, you know, to, you know, you know, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of, you know, true information, and there's a lot of false.
Yeah, and we're opinionated information, pretty much. That's what we are. But we're not them people that are gonna shut down. Yeah, we're not sticklers, and we're not gonna shut down your option.
No.
Because I'm sure we have a lot of people have the same theories as us, and we want to meet you guys. You know, we want to get into them deep 12 a.m. conversations. You know, looking up at the stars and being like, "How do you think the Earth was created, man?"
Like conspiracies and stuff.
Dude, that'd be okay. We talk about conspiracy theories, but not in like Illuminati hardcore.
Right.
Just things we thought were things that we thought were interesting, you know. But we're not gonna get too hard into that. But yeah, we're gonna take another break. But definitely head on over to our Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes. We're all Lycaos Radio. If you want to learn how to spell that, that's Lycaos Radio. Carly and Jose, and we'll see you guys after this break. So at every episode we like to do a very special segment, something that's pretty interesting and what we think was really cool about this topic. Or what we learned was cool, you know, but because this is we love ghosts, we love learning about the paranormal, and because this is one of our favorite topics, we wanted to go all out for this top 5. So, we're going to be doing a top 5 scariest places that we would definitely, probably poop our pants, visit. So, let's get down to brass tacks. Jose, you start off with number 5, boy. Yeah.
This is my number 5. The Island of Dolls.
Dun dun dun. Yo, we gonna take back to the Island of Dolls here in Mexico, and I'm just kidding.
No, just kidding. You're going there for a minute. You should have stopped.
I just said Island of Dolls and it sounded cool.
Yeah, well, it kind of lost it because Jacob keeps looking at me like that, and it's just weird.
Man, I know my curtain's sexy as hell, so.
Dude, you're freaking me out, man. No, just kidding.
Jacob, keep doing what you're doing, man.
No, but
Alright, but back to the Island of Dolls. That was a cool little rap, though. Right?
Dude.
Take it away, man. Take it away,
But,
baby.
got a little bit of a little spiel here on it. This place, the Island of Dolls, is located just south of Mexico City, and which this place was really never intended to be a tourist attraction, but this was actually dedicated to a lost soul.
With the Island of Dolls, there's hotspot.
Yeah,
I'd go there.
I really want to go. No, dude, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm not playing around. I'll spend the night there and just hug those dolls all night.
What?
Just kidding. I don't like dolls. You know that.
Well,
I'm freaked out.
I didn't know.
But
I'm sorry. You never tell me anything anymore.
No, but yeah. This area was dedicated to a lost soul. Soul of a poor little girl who met her maker, and the way she went out was it said that the girl was found drowned in mysterious circumstances many years ago, and the dolls actually are possessed by her spirit.
So all the dolls are?
On this island.
Dude, imagine that.
That's freaky.
Yeah, little dolls running around.
So you're just sitting there, you know, you're walking around. Oh, this is cool. All of a sudden you see a doll head turn towards you or something.
Oh, man.
Like, why are you here? What are you doing? Why are you touching these dolls? No. But yeah, I always thought this place was interesting. You know, growing up hearing about this, even I always wanted to check it out, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Yeah. It's cool that you want to too.
Yeah.
Freaky too. Because most of the time we do have the same views and stuff, same things you want to do. Yeah, that was my number 5, and we're just gonna keep. Well, and then my number 4, my 4th one, the Pine Barrens.
The Pine Barrens.
The Pine Barrens, guys. The Pine Barrens.
New Jersey. No,
nah, just kidding. Okay, it wasn't supposed to happen like that.
We do that a lot during this. We'll just break out in random.
That was messed up.
Yeah. We're sorry, man. Or we're sorry, dudes.
Or Jersey. Pine Barrens, or also known as the Pinelands or the Pines. The name refers to the area's sandy, acidic, and poor soil. So basically nothing really grows there. When you think of the Pine Barrens, if you don't know, and if you do know, when you think of the Pine Barrens, you think of the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
I always did too, and I seen a show on TV. I forgot what it was called, but I think you might have seen it. But it showed like a depiction of what happened, and
yeah.
But a little bit on it. The Jersey Devil is said that he was born in 1735 to a local woman who by the name of Mrs. Leeds. It was said that he was her 13th child born, and so and because of this, he was cursed, the New Jersey Devil. So basically, he's cursed forever and roams around the Pine Barrens.
That's crazy, man. I can't get over that.
I actually think I had a dream about this place before.
Really?
I swear to God, dude. It could have been this place, could have been another piney place, but it was pretty thick, man. The pines.
Holy crap.
Could have been this place.
That reminds me of one of my topics on my top 5. We'll get to it. And it's awkward because Jose's an awkward penguin.
I'm an awkward cat, but bear with me here for a second, man. Take a drink of that wad.
Oh yes, I got cranberry juice.
My number 3, or my third. My
number 3rd.
Yeah. Sounds so freaking professional.
Yeah.
Try not to use so many curse words this time, because I'm kind of known for that, and that's all I say.
That's what we're both kind of known for. And if you're listening to this and you know me, and you're like, Carly doesn't swear. I swear a lot.
Dude, I heard this chick, man. She sounded like a sailor.
I was a sailor for 15 years.
Really?
Back in 1984.
Did you work for the Bumblebee Tuna Company?
I did. I made a lot of shrimp.
Or were you a smelter?
I don't know.
You're just like.
I was like, I don't know what to say.
But yeah, my 3rd one is the Seaside Sanatorium. And this was a historic medical facility in Waterford, Connecticut. Okay. And
it makes sense that the Eastern is, because I mean, if you get the original 13.
Man, it just, dude, when it just seems so like you'd think the vibe would just be like. Yeah. The air would be thick, and you know what I mean. And it was originally built to treat the kids with tuberculosis, but used as an elderly home, medical hospital, and a facility to treat mentally disabled. So, if you kind of look at that, man, an elderly home.
And then also a mental hospital.
A mental hospital, a medical hospital. Well,
medical hospital. There's a lot of death.
Yeah, so you know that's.
Yeah, and back then too.
That's stacked with ghosts there, and spirits, and poltergeists, and.
Back then, they didn't even treat their patients right either.
No.
They were just hardcore mean. They just didn't treat anyone with respect, So there's gonna be some activity there. I've always wanted to visit a sanitarium.
Sanatorium. I actually
Like Waverly Hills, that'd be one of my places to go.
That'd be sweet.
Okay.
But this was my number 3. I just thought it was real interesting to kind of get a little bit on it, and knowing that it was built for so many different things, but there's so many different lives taken there, and
even like especially suicide too. If you think about it, yeah.
Just imagine the stuff you hear there. Like, say we were locked in there at night, you know, like kind of like Ghost Adventures or something.
Yeah.
They locked us in there, and all you hear is like faint screams and cries and help me or scratching. Or
that'd be crazy.
That'd blow my mind, man. That'd really blow my mind. I literally.
Your little deer's down there. That reminded me of Thorny too. You know how she sometimes if you fold her like paws, I don't know, like you lift them up like that, like she looks like deers.
Oh yeah, they're like a rabbit.
Yeah, little feet. Rabbit foot.
Coming up at my number 4.
Number 2.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome, dude. I'm like Professor Xavier over here.
I'm gonna tell him what to say. No, just kidding.
Pretty good, but it was good.
But I get it. No.
Remember Bruce Almighty? He's all like, my tiny little nipples went to France.
He's like, oh man.
He's like, a boo boo, a shakaka.
A boo.
A baby.
Coming in at number 2 is the Daring Woods or the Screaming Forest.
Dude, remember when we watched some videos on there? It was like,
oh my god, dude.
Dude, that was crazy.
And places located between the villages of Smartham and Puckley in Kent. Doesn't really say where the hell it is.
You're good, man.
They were the most haunted woods in Britain.
Okay.
Okay, we got it now.
Alright.
Okay. We're in Britain, guys. And they were given the name because of many reports of people hearing, just like we said, screams and coming from the forest, usually at night, or, you know, footsteps. There were footsteps and whisperings during the day. Oh man, I couldn't imagine that. You'd be walking in the woods, all I hear is Am I alone? You are not alone.
Who are you?
The forest was said to be haunted by ghosts of people who get lost in them.
Yeah.
That's
really popular, especially with woods. I guess with woods, it's like there's nothing built there, so you just have all that energy that even from like a long time ago. And if you think about it, Europe is how long? Like thousands and thousands of years. Just that entire, you know.
So much happened back then.
Yeah.
You know.
Heck yeah. And it's Europe. I read somewhere that Europe itself is, especially like England, you know, is like one of the most haunted places in the entire world, just from history. Like, you got the plague, you got, you know, the Black Plague, bubonic plague. Then you have, back in the nights in the medieval times, you have torture. Then come up to these, you have all these riots and stuff, and especially World War II when that happened over there. You got you got all of Europe. Look at all of that, the bodies lost, and all the lives lost. Millions and millions of lives, yeah.
But it is said that many of the nearby villages swear to have seen black shadows following them while they were traveling across the forest.
Dude. I couldn't, I've had that before. Someone following me.
Dude, that's freaky, man.
They were wearing all black too.
And the woods is also famous for presenting one of the oldest Neolithic sites in the world. So I thought this place was pretty cool, pretty interesting, and I definitely want to visit it.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff that I've read about it's pretty terrifying, pretty creepy.
Get some EVPs.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude.
If you don't know what EVPs are, it's electronic voice phenomenon. It's usually what not really ghost hunters, but just people in general. It's anything. You know?
A way to reach out to them.
Yeah, just talk to them over even a voice recorder. You know, and you usually get an answer back, but it's hard to debunk it sometimes if you don't have the right equipment, and sometimes it could be your imagination. You just have to debunk it. Yeah. But it's pretty popular. I've heard personal EVPs myself, and it's crazy, you know? Like, if you really think about it, back to the wavelengths, like, that's like our radio frequencies, how to get a hold of them, you know?
Like Morse code.
Yeah.
That's their...
Yeah.
In a way, it's their... Okay, trying to get through two ghosts, that's a form, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's all good. Just kidding.
Oh, my number.
Your number one.
My number first.
I like my cup because it says, if you touch my cup, I break your head. While we're waiting, we just want to go ahead with the Dreamcatcher Cause for Cancer. This is a non-profit organization that is run by my co-worker, Misty. Misty, if you're watching this or listening to this, congrats, man. You do an amazing job. Non-profit organization.
Wonderful, man.
50% of the proceeds goes towards the $25 gift card. The other goes towards more materials to make these dream catchers that give cancer patients hope. If you want to get in touch with us over Facebook at Lycaos Radio, and we'll tell you how you can help donate to the cause. Especially if you're in the Upper Michigan area, in the Tri-County, Iron Mountain, Gladstone, Escanaba, Hermansville, Powers, that area. Or just anywhere, and, you know, just even tell your friends. Tell your friends! But yeah, she donated, she has been able to help 48 cancer patients, totaling $1,200, and that's pretty awesome. We just got really quiet and reserved over here talking about this, but you know what? Cancer patients need hope because you're not in this alone. You're not in this fight alone, and this is a picker-upper. Dream catchers are the symbol of hope and good health, because that's what you're going to achieve, is great health, and you're gonna recover because you're strong enough. We are Dreamcatcher strong. Jose?
And my number one is the Driscoll Hotel. This was built in 1886, and this is reasonably be haunted. Excuse me. There are three main legends attached to this hotel that have caught attention of ghost hunters everywhere, so I don't know if there were any shows on it or anything, but I don't know what the facts are on that, but the first legend is of a girl who died in 1877 after chasing her ball and accidentally falling down the grand staircase. But they say you can listen carefully in the halls and you can still hear the sound of giggling and a ball bouncing down the stairs.
Oh my god, no!
Yeah. That's
Shining.
one of the worst
ghost spirits, man. Or like ghost spirits, really. I meant little kid spirits, dude.
I don't like if you
They're
hear
like,
yeah, or like
come play with me.
So
screw that, man. Like, go play with yourself. Like, get out of here.
that was one legend. But the second one, the tale of the suicide brides, describes two separate occasions in which a bride, for reasons unknown, offered herself during her honeymoon, while some claim both of these tragedies occurred in room 525 in the bathtub, exactly 20 years apart from each other. There are many versions of this on the internet, but it does seem that there have been at least 2 suicides at the Driscoll. So
in the same room here.
Yeah.
The same negative energy.
Which is more than enough for me to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I couldn't imagine the first one that hearing a little girl giggling. Or like you just think you're walking, you arrived at this hotel, thinking, oh, this is gonna be sweet, this is gonna be an awesome stay.
BYOB.
But really, it ain't. It just probably scared the shit out of you, man.
I would honestly want a refund after.
I'd be like,
I'm pretty sure there's like a disclaimer, but I'd be like, no refund.
Like, why don't you guys tell me about this?
Or just keep my money.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I thought, that's another place I'd love to check out.
It's pretty cool.
But
I wouldn't check that out because of that.
I would just to do it, but I'm not a fan of giggling.
Or little ghost spirits.
Yeah,
or
like
little kid spirits. Just
But that's my top 5.
We have like a similar top 5, especially with the forest. Because my top 5 have a very, very famous forest. If you don't know what this forest is, then you need to educate yourself. Just kidding.
Education?
No, but that's what this is, because we're about to get real deep into these details right here. So let's jump right on into this and then get this over with, because I'm pretty sure you're sick of hearing our voices and we're sick of hearing each other's voices. Like, Jose.
No, never.
Jose, you need to shut the. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, maybe.
I'm kidding, man. You're my big brother and I love you, man.
Love you too, dude. Love you too.
Thanks, dude.
This is very emotional. Every episode, we just want to cry.
It's the end of the show. Or like a lyric when you just like, and then you just doesn't make any noise. Lyric if you're 20 years old and you're listening to this in the future.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Auntie.
Yeah. And if your lyrics future friends, then yeah.
Then take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna start my top 5 off. My light's been flickering and it's creepy.
Ghost.
You best knock it off now.
Who's here? Who's here?
Alright, I want to start off with the Battle of Gettysburg because...
Nice.
Dude, it's not a forest, but it has, it's woods, field. And like I said, it's open area. And they didn't build over this because, historical site. So you have all of this energy from all of these soldiers that died there. And if you don't know, the Battle of Gettysburg took place between July 1st through the 3rd in 1863. And on total, 51,000 Americans were killed, wounded, or missing.
Holy.
51,000. Like, if you think about that.
That's like a whole town.
That's like... Well, Appleton got
That's like bigger. Menasha and Nina.
Yeah.
Combined. And
they
some.
Got bigger. Yeah. That's like... That's a lot of... And they're saying killed, wounded, or missing in that area.
And that's only that many.
Yeah.
How many?
Back then, you're probably gonna die from your wounds, depending how bad it was, But I want to get into the darker side of this because that's really what we're here for. We're that monster under your bed. But we want to go back to... There's a headquarters, right, from this Union general named Howard. So his headquarters were actually turned into an orphanage, and in this orphanage there was a headmistress. This is in the late 1700s, right on the mid 1800s. The headmistress, her name was Rosa Carmichael, and she was infamous for her cruelty towards the children. She was later convicted of child abuse. This was eventually closed in 1877, but they say that her dark spirit still lingers in the basement, and it scratches people and just abusive, like pretty much like a demonic figure. I thought that was pretty interesting because orphanages are one of the most hotbed because all the the headmasters and the headmistresses are usually mean to the kids, back then especially. So we want to go back. We want to count down to number 4. We got Poveglia Island. Pretty
cool name.
Heck yeah, man. Italian island. This island is located by Italy. Well, it says Italy, but it is said to have had over 160,000 infected victims from the plague. And if you want to go back, we're probably going to be doing the plague, but think about it, millions of people died from the plague. And on this little island, dude, over 160,000 people were infected and they died there.
Wow.
Over. Like, that's crazy, man. And you want to know the scary part? They said that over 50% of the ground, the soil, is actually human ash. So if you go pick it up, it's going to be like human ash mixed with soil.
Fertilization.
I don't know, man.
Better not eat the dirt there.
Right? Alright, so back in 1922, there was actually a mental hospital that was open, and like our previous top 5, mental hospitals are a hotbed for activity, especially this one because the doctor actually killed patients. You know, he
Dang.
was just one of them doctors.
Just didn't care, hey.
Yeah, and if you ever seen the Ghost Adventures episode, this doctor, I believe, died because he fell off the lighthouse or was pushed off the lighthouse and he died there and from broken neck injury or something. And this island is actually cursed, and the government doesn't. The government prohibits anyone to actually go onto the island, and none of the fishermen and fish around there because it's cursed, you know. And I believe it too. I mean, look at there's a lot of things that happen on that island, you know. Bumping down to number 3 is going to be a very famous forest, and I hopefully, like I said, you best know what forest this is, because if you've never actually seen the movie The Forest that came out back in 2015, 2016, you're gonna probably, your brain is gonna be turned into mush. You want to know what this? Okay, so this is actually the suicide forest in Koshu, Japan.
Nice.
But you want to know what the Japanese call it, or what its real name is actually? Hopefully, I'm saying this right. But it's called the Aokigahara Forest. I hope. And if I pronounce that right,
that name's a nightmare, man.
Dude,
holy.
If I pronounce that right, this deserves a thumbs up. Yeah.
That was good, dude. I don't think I could have. I would have just been. Well.
I just thought of Aoki because of Steve Aoki, and then Gahara, Aokigahara, and just yeah. But there's forest rangers that clean the forest regularly, and if you don't know, this is on the base of Mount Fuji, I believe. And this is just bush, like this is just like thick forest. And the reason why it's so popular is, like I said, it was a suicide forest. And they believe the people that want to take their lives in this forest are either drawn to it, or because the last thing that they want to see before they actually take their life is, you know, beautiful surroundings of this forest, and you're one with nature. You know, there's signs. You know, there's signs that are placed at each entrance that always say something like "Your life is worth it, worth more than this," or like "Turn around and go back, please, you're loved," or something. No, this is to help suicide victims or people who are about to commit it, or you know, don't want to be here anymore. So you want to know what actually? This is a creepy fact that I found out in this. So there's this place that the forest rangers bring the bodies, right? It's usually a special room that houses the victims, you know, until police come and identify the victims and, you know, all this stuff. But they place these bodies into a special room until that happens. And forest rangers actually play rock, paper, scissors, because one of them has to sleep in there with the bodies. So imagine you have to sleep in there with these bodies for a night. Bad luck for the Yuri or the ghost of the suicide victims to be left alone. You know, and that'll help them, and they won't be able to, I guess, cross over, find their body, because, you know, their souls are, it's bad luck for the Yuri or the ghost, so that their soul will wander throughout the forest. You'll hear screams, and, you know, and they'll actually, I guess they'll possess some people. Yeah.
Dude.
And just think about it, like, this is going to be such a thick energy, because there's so many people that just lost their lives out there.
Be able to breathe in there.
Yeah. I've always just wanted to go there and say a little prayer and lay down some tobacco. That's what I've always wanted to do. Because, you know, because if you're a suicide victim, not really a suicide victim, but if you're a loved one of a suicide victim, my condolences. And I'm saying that pure from the heart, because suicide's never the answer, you know.
It isn't.
And I know, you know, actually some people do feel like they don't belong in this world, so whatever you say won't change their mind. But there are some people out there that just feel like they're never gonna get past it. But you know what? There's obstacles, man. You climb that mountain, but once you get to the top, the view is pretty freaking incredible. Counting down to the first one, we got number 2. This is gonna be one that you know and you best know because we're actually gonna go to this one, and I'm probably this summer actually. And I'm talking about Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Nice, dude.
In Wilder, Kentucky. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is one of the most haunted places in the United States to date. The reason why it's haunted, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background because this is what I saw from Ghost Adventures. And if you don't like Ghost Adventures or if you don't like any paranormal research teams, that's totally fine, you know, but we're just saying what we saw. And Bobby Mackey's is pretty popular among paranormal societies. So first of all, you got satanic rituals, you got murder, then you also got country, right? Got country, so country's good, but some ghosts, I'm pretty sure some ghosts probably get sick of it. No, it's I like country. Shania Twain, man. Shania Twain, if you're watching this or listening to this, that'd be cool because you're my idol. But anyways, so long story short, this girl was in love with this one dude, but the dad didn't care. Dad hated the guy, killed the guy, and the girl committed suicide. Then the guy killed himself, and the dad died or killed himself. But to make this long story even shorter, there's just a lot of demonic possession. There's a lot, not really possessions. There's a lot of demonic activity in there, and there's a lot of activity in there. Just even if you just walk into there, it has that sign that says it says warning, this establishment is known to be haunted, and if anything happens to you, then it's not their fault. It's their disclaimer pretty much. As soon as you walk in there, if anything happens to you, if you walk out and something's latched to you, that's not their fault. They're telling you, because they used to be a slaughterhouse too. The building next door, because it's just the whole building it's a whole building on land. But I guess there was a head that was thrown down a well in the slaughterhouse, and that was known as the portal to hell, I guess. So, but the body was found, but the head was never found, or sacrificed to the devil. So if you think about it. All right, number 1. Okay, number 1 is gonna be, I've talked to Jose about this all the time. I've even showed him the house. I'm talking about the house that is haunted near here, where I live, in Upper Michigan.
Nice.
It's actually mentioned in a book, and it's by Reverend Gerard S. Butler, or no, Gerard S. Hunter, one of those two. No, it's not Gerard Butler. That's that one dude, right? 300. No, it's not Gerard S. Hunter, I believe. And okay, this house, I've always wanted to just go up to him, knock on the door, and be like, "Hey, it's okay if I, get the ghost?" But I'm gonna give you a little background of it. There's a night watchman that walks back and forth between the hallway, right? And and this always happens between like 12 and 3, I guess. And if you don't know, between 12 and 3 is often related to as witching hour. I have heard that it was 4 o'clock too, but usually in the early hours of the day. 3 o'clock is 3 o'clock is famous because it's the mocking of the Trinity, So he walks back and forth, right? And he'll never go into the room with, or the last room on the right, I guess. And this was where the parents were. So he would walk, the first room he would walk to, he would just walk to the front entrance if the doors were open, And in the second room, he would walk halfway into the door, so he'd walk in all the way. But halfway he'd stop, and then he'd just see if anyone's in there. And then in the third one, he would walk all the way up to a bed. He would walk all the way up to the bed and just look at whoever's sleeping in that bed. He would just stand there for a few seconds. And if the door is closed, he'll open up the door. And I guess he wears like a raincoat and like boots and like a trench coat, and I think he has a hat, and he's like an older man, he's not like demonic or anything, but it's just creepy because if you think, like, what if you're in that third room and then all of a sudden you heard like, and you just feel like a shadow chilling over you, just hovering over you, man. Just like standing over you like that. Like, I always just wanted to visit it and try and see if it's real, And the author rated this on a macabre scale. 1 being, the least. Or no, 0 stars being the least, and then 4 stars being the most scariest, and he rated it a 4, so. And I live literally a few blocks away from that house, and it's pretty cool.
What if that was the house you moved in?
Dude, it'd be a lot better than Robinson's, I'll tell you that. Definitely a lot better than Robinson's. You know what I'm talking about, like, man.
That's like a hot spot.
That's the hot spot of, that's like the Bobby Mackey's of this area.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really bad has happened, like, at least, well, a lot of bad things have happened, but prior to when it became into an apartment complex, it makes you wonder what it was before, and what happened there. But that was me and Jose's top 5, and I'm sorry, okay, the past few month and a half, we've been super just lazy with this, but we're gonna be on track. We're gonna be on track of everything. All right, Jose and I here. We finally got some pretty good recording equipment, so we don't gotta use our headphones, little headsets, or recording into our phones. But we're probably gonna have a next segment on ghosts and our own personal stories, and probably just our personal stories in general. We want you to get to know us, because
if you guys need a picture, well, we'll send you one.
Yeah, we'll send you some nudes of Kaner and Thorn.
Yeah, I don't know about Kane, man. He don't have much for nothing right now, but
yeah, he's just a little puppy, man. He's only like a couple months old.
I can't do that to him. He's too small for that yet.
Ew, that'd be gross, man. Doggy porn.
Fucking just show,
show Nirvana's nip. Just kidding.
You're like,
oh, what if a guy was like, send me nudes? I'd send a picture of Thorn's nip. He's like, I told you not to do it, man. I told you.
He's like, yeah, and what'd you do? He's like, don't tell him. He's like, you ate a box of nerds out of her butthole.
Hey, man,
you sold your own poison.
Pineapple Express.
Oh, man.
Love it.
Love that movie. James Franco, Seth Rogen, Danny McBride.
Y'all need to.
You guys are awesome, man.
Yeah, y'all need to hit us up sometime and
I mean, when you hear Seth Rogen's laugh,
we're gonna hit the casino up, remember?
Yeah, I'll definitely hit the casino up. He's like, the casino, the Asians own the casino, Ted.
He's like,
John, you listen to me, you motherfucker.
Do you remember Masterson? He's like, is he Asian? Is he Asian?
He's like, Den could have been a Jew. I don't know. I don't label people. Obviously, we're friends.
He's like, mm-hmm.
He's like, yep, Dale, not a Jew.
He's like, then I hear Ted. Bye, Ted. Alright, we're just gonna... This podcast is sponsored by Kane. If you want to be a Kane, you just gotta lay down on a chair and be lazy and almost fall off, because he looks like a little deer and he looks like he's about to fall off the watch. Look, you might want to pick him up. Alright, yep, this is sponsored by Thorny and Kane. They're the studio dogs. And if you want to be a Thorny and Kane, definitely subscribe, follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page, share with your friends, and join the pack. Join the discussion, join the pack, become a part of Lycaos, because we want to be a big family. We are a big family.
We
If
are.
you're listening to this right now, you're a family.
You're already part of the family. How's it going?
So this is gonna be our dysfunction.
We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that's listening to our podcast and who's been with us here from day one. We'd like to thank you.
You guys are kick-anal.
You guys are kick-ass, man. And we do have business cards again, and we will be posting about the Dreamcatcher cause for cancer.
So keep an eye out on our Facebook page.
And that is just a wonderful cause. And you guys will be able to get a little more of a scoop on that.
So hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. This is Carly and Jose with Lycaos. I'm Carly the Boss Sagata.
I am Jose the Cobra Lopez Jr. and this is Lycaos Radio.
We're signing off.
See you later.
We'll be right back with Lycaos, but for a brief couple of seconds, we'd like to tell you about our social media.
That's right. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just type in Lycaos Radio in the search bar and you'll find us.
So if you love anything paranormal,
to music and gaming,
you can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and our handler is Lycaos Radio. That's LYCAOS Radio.
Where fact and fiction have no boundaries.
Now it's time to get back to the show, so grab your dog, log, frog, cat, bat, or rat, and enjoy.